Good evening. How are you all doing on this fine, rainy evening? Imagine last week we had sun, didn't we? Or did we not? Am I just imagining it? Sun in February into March. Imagine that. That was amazing, but I knew it wasn't going to last too long because this is England, so the rain has come. So I want to welcome you all to the Leeds Lit Festival, part of Studio 12's Manifesto in Verse. You are most welcome. Give yourselves a round of applause for just getting here. Yeah. That's right. And I really want you to make sure you keep that energy for all the poets that are coming on stage. I want to make sure that you show them some love. Do we know how to show love in Leeds? Yeah. Who did that? Yeah, you see. All the way from across the pond, from Atlanta. And she knows how to show Leeds love. Do it again. See? She's really a Leeds lass that migrated. So we want to make sure we show some love, and we can do that by saying yep, yep. If you're feeling good, say yep, yep. Good. I just want to make sure that you're all awake. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background to the projects that we've been working on here. So as part of Studio 12, well, Studio 12, first and foremost, is a digital production studio company that services young people. And so young people between the ages of 16 and 13 living in Leeds are able to come in and they provide access to digital resources, including multimedia, video, photographs, music equipment, software, and so on and so forth. And I'm so damn jealous because the equipment is top of the range. And I wish I was not 16, because I'd have to do as I was told by my mother. But I kind of wish I was around those ages that I could access the equipment that Studio 12 has. There's such an amazing organisation based in the library. So if you know any young people, do direct them to Studio 12, especially if they're interested in music production and DJing and multimedia things, anything like that, photography. So that's the other thing I want to say. The second thing is that Studio 12 were the first centenary city. So Leeds was one of the first centenary cities to be part of the Manifesto in Verse, which celebrates 100 years since women got the vote, the right to vote. That's here in the UK. Yeah, come on. Big things. Big things are going. Yeah. So basically, through Studio 12, we gathered a group of young people to kind of explore what that suffrage movement was through the Leeds Library. So celebrating the suffrage movement, exploring that, and really looking at the unique library collections, what they had on offer. And so as part of Manifesto in Verse, can you see these pictures? Can you see them? Absolutely amazing. And I worked on the project, and I'm still waiting for Jamie to put me up there. It's yet to do that. I want to be up there. It's absolutely amazing. So some of these poets are actually going to be reading this evening, and you're going to get a taste of Manifesto in Verse poems. The other thing that I want to tell you is that we're also part of a project called Boardlines, which is also a unique project that's working across the UK and Europe. And so part of Boardlines is looking at what borders mean. What does it mean to be restricted by borders? And so this project, we've been working it for a few weeks now, we've run about 3 sessions, but we've been working it from January to now. And so there's going to be several cities across the UK that are going to team up, and I can't remember the date, Jamie, 29th of March, the 29th of March, and we're going to do this kind of live feed around the UK and across Europe where young people are going to be reading. So some of it's going to be live, some of it's going to be pre-recorded. So actually some of the performances here are going to be recorded and they're going to be shown on the 29th of March as part of Boardlines. And it is really a reaction to Brexit. That's what really it is. So without further ado, I want you to put your hands together for all the poets that are going to come on the stage. Right, so we're going to kick off with Manifesto in Verse, which is part of also part of the Voice Box Cafe. And I failed to tell you that as part of the Voice Box Cafe, which was a continuation of Manifesto in Verse, which was still looking at the same subject, working with the libraries that, you know, we got to go to the House of Lords. And so the first person that's come on the stage read her poem at the House of Lords, and she wooed the people. So I want you to put your hands together. I want you to make her feel very, very special, as all the poets are that are going to come on this stage. She goes by the name of Rahima, aka Mims. So she's going to open up. Please put your hands together for Mims.
Hi gang, hi Sean Malik. Haven't seen Sean yet. Hi everybody. I guess I don't need to do too much introducing. This piece I wrote in response to the theme at the time, which was the suffragette movement celebrating 100 years of the women's right to vote. It was just kind of a free write that I did, but I really enjoyed it, and I guess so did the project, because they sent me off to the House of Lords, Parliament. I don't know, somewhere down, you know, down in London. Down in that London. It's called What is a Woman? Is she a front cover? Lost property to recover? Is she a machine? Does she clean? What is a woman? Body is mine, waste no time, these breasts are mine, and so is this spine. This hair is mine, I bought it. These words are mine, I thought it. Woman, manifest, undress, detox and smash the box. Vote, take the remote, control the image, navigate the Red Sea, this is your pilgrimage. His story is one half, her story will complete. Do not compete, do not explain, do not repeat. Just be super. You are spirit and matter. You matter, so take up space. All of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahima. Forgot to tell you about this band here. Purple Lychee. Yeah? And I just think they need to show a little bit of their talent on the stage, so come on. We've got a guitar here. Show us what you can do, Sean. Now you know what I like. Come on now, don't let me down. You can move your shoulders, you know. Don't be shy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Councillor Sharon Hamilton. Show me what you've got. Come on, Clooney McPherson. Come on. Move your shoulders. That's right. That's Sean on guitar. Give me a round of applause. And right here, come on now. On the bass, because I like the bass. Keep going, Sean. Come on, Malik, give me some bass line. Oh, you're all boring. That's right. Come on, that's right. Come on. Can you feel the bass? It's like an underground railroad train coming inside you. Can you feel it? Yeah, this is Purple Lychee from the Sunday practice. Give them a round of applause. This is Malik and Sean. Keep it going as we welcome next on the stage, Adeline. Are you in the house? Is Adeline in the house? Let's welcome her to the stage. Keep her clapping going. Come on. You see, when you come to stage, you got to step. Step. That's right. Yeah. Come on, own it.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. I've got two poems, The Boardlines and The Traces of Memories of Manifesto in Reverse. So I will be doing the Manifesto in reverse. Oppression exists every day. Belting out in anger, nothing changes. Traces of memories, the pain left behind. Forgetting about the past, yet we repeat the past, never knowing the real truth. As we move into the future to make an impact in the minds of society, small changes happening time to time, changing their minds to feel, not to think, changing the life of future generations to come, changing their hearts of what they see, not by eyes, but by faith. The system is insane. Got everybody following orders, teaching us not to live, but to fight for your life every day. Starved by recklessness. Eyes widen to homelessness. Rhythm nation, day by day, that's the state of the world today. Generations after generations, no longer will the future be blind to the world. We'll stand up for what we believe in. Change hearts of what they see, not by eyes, but by faith. Giving each other strength to overcome in how we are today. Thank you. It's Adelina, by the way, not Adeline.
Adelina. One more round of applause for Adelina. Yeah. Do you know how many times she reminds me about her name? You know when you just decide you've changed somebody's name and you can't change it back? It just gets like that sometimes, doesn't it? You know your parents do that sometimes, what Caribbean parents do. They say, what's your name again? If they've got more than 3 children, it's all over because they just can't remember your name. They say, what's your name again? Come here. Yeah, and you just know it's you. So it's a bit like that, Adeline. You see? Adelina. One more round of applause for Adelina. It's a good job she knows me. But she does always correct me, and I stand corrected, my dear. Okay, so that was Adelina with her poem from Manifesto in Verse. We're going to keep it moving, and so we've got a mixture of poems in this first section. We've got Manifesto in Verse, and we've got Voice Box Cafe. But they're all part of the suffrage movement. It's all part of women's voices, and especially women's voices today. So they were asked through their workshops to kind of have an approach on what was happening back in history and what's happening now today, and also looking at change. So let's welcome to the stage Natalie. Come on.
So the poem that I'm going to perform is called De Vida Impera. This one was at the Voice Box Cafe, so it's very much about women's experiences and inequality for women. So I hope you enjoy it. I look at myself and question, will this body, this face, these hands ever carry the greatness which I see in others? Or lesser yet, no, better yet, reflect the greatness which I see in myself. A quiet confidence, a simple sense of self, carried, not always displayed. Strong men, the foremost almost needless to say, an assumption, a precursor, said as if strength is the element from which they were made. Woman, Strong woman, stronger woman, the strongest woman. These words are poison. No woman comparable, no woman the same. Yet we are one, all at once encompassing the meaning of finite and infinite. Dear woman, you think it is all others who have held the misconception, but maybe it is you who has misperceived, placing the bow upon your own glass box. Sometimes I wonder if there may be no greater power than a collection of female minds sat around one table. But whilst we guess, they know. Yes, what greater device than to instill doubt and divide. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. You see, I heard some clicking over there. Do we know what that clicking is? Who says yeah? Yeah, it's like, you know, somebody says a line, you think, wow, that's, oh, I like that. We can click. Can you click? Yeah. It's like that striking statement that, you know, it's that line that makes you go, wow, oh, yes, oh, that's a nice line. Oh, did she write that? It's that, you know, that emotion that runs through you. Yeah, so what we do in the poetry circuit, we click, because we're oh so polite, we are. Yeah, so if you don't feel that you will disturb the poet, they're used to it. You can kind of click your fingers, you think, I really like that line. You got to click, Natalie. Right from over here. I heard it, click, click, click. So one more round of applause for Natalie. Yes. Okay, so moving along. Is Kim Ho in the house? Oh, she is, as she makes her way to the stage. So Kim was also part of the Voice Box Cafe. Oh, have we got some music? Go on then. She has to step to it. You have to do that kind of, I'm here. Step. Yeah, that one, that one. Go on. She starts it and she's like, there's no time to be shy, Kim. Yeah, give her a round of applause.
This piece is called Womanist, and I borrowed that word from Khadija, actually. Thanks, Khadija. Womanist. Does the curvature of my back not fit the broad chair you're sat upon? Broad chairs in boardrooms with bored men trying to talk about what's best for our feminine. We have the given right to speak. Why do we need to seek permission? Our voice deserves the space to express. It's a basic given freedom. Yet, you speak about equality, but our experiences are broadly different. Does this really make a difference, you ask? Well, do you ache and pain like we do? Leak and shame like we do? Cover and uncover ourselves like we do? You try and regulate our body parts, but we are not broken to adjust, manage and inspect. Instead, you should release resistance to our female nature. We are not just vessels to plant seeds for harvest. We are human just like you, just two women unlike you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. At the Sunday practice. Who knows about the Sunday practice? If you don't know, you need to know. We say at the Sunday practice, which is an open mic event that happens once a month, the first Sunday in every month. And when we like a poem, and we think that person's got something special, what do we say? What is it? Come on, play it, play it. Come on. We said they got fire. Fire, fire, fire. Come on. I need to hear you. I can't hear you. Hear you. Fire, fire. Is the mic mic on, Jamie?
Fire, fire, fire.
Just checking. Kim has fire, like all the women on the stage. That's the fire that's burning inside them with passion. Yeah? So we have a rhythm. Fire, fire, fire. Hit. Keep going. Someone else has fire coming on the stage. Keep going. Yep. Can we welcome to the stage, manifesting verse, Inas? Keep going, she's got fire. Welcome her to the stage, come on. Hit, hit, hit.
Fire. Hi everyone. So I'm going to be doing the Manifesto in Verse poem. I joined in all 3 workshops. I don't know how, because I don't have time to do anything, but yeah. So, I am queen. I am Nuba queen. I am Merowe Kush African queen. I am Kendeke. I'm in Shakatu. In this land where women feast and fast, she feeds my people, builds kingdoms, God under her feet, children under her breast, soldiers under her rule. She builds temples for the gods. Kingdom of Kush. In the land of the Sud, the land of Sudan, the land of black, the kingdom of blacks. I am blind. In my right eye, yet I fight with gold wrists. I fight with my head, not my fist, for peace and not for war. I am black. I am Nuba, the black pharaoh. I am a goddess like her, with coal eyeliner. I am the Nile River. I am the source of life. Horus is energy. I rule a land that cultivates crops. In the south, grey skinned by roaring sunstorms in the north. I am still woman. I am she is you. Woman, we are. Aswad Suda, as Sudan, the land of the blacks. As dark as the night sky, blue hues, purple undertones, black Aswad. I am Pharaoh. I am warrior. I am Kingdom Kush in the Bronze Age. Aya Inada Amali.
Did I tell you she's got fire? Yes. Thank you, Inas. Thank you very, very much. One more round of applause for Inas. And you know, the whole thing about the Manifesto in Verse and the Voice Box Cafe is about giving women a platform to speak, giving them a voice to be heard. And especially in Leeds, where often, you know, you see us, and we speak a lot sometimes, but sometimes you don't really hear our voices. Do you agree? Just checking, you know. I don't want to say things that align, you know, in library. But I think that's true. Sometimes you see us, but you don't hear us. So this is what this whole project is about, that young people, young women can also have a political voice and a stance in society to make changes. Someone who has a political stance and is making changes. I want you to put your hands together for Jazz Deep. She's part of the Voice Box Cafe. Come on, keep your clapping going as she comes to the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I have had the privilege of being part of both projects, so Manifesto in Verse and also Voice Box Cafe. The first poem I'm going to share with you guys today is a piece that I've written about borders, if that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so here goes. We divided humanity in unity with war, control, and greed. With religion, tradition, superstition, with admissions, Muslims, Christians, Jews, we tend to believe whatever we see and hear in our public broadcasting news. And then we feel so confused because it's people who are being abused as well, for when you harm another, you self-harm as well, you harm the soul. But that's hardly a goal these days. Lip fillers and bigger butts are all the new craze. Anyway, back to borders. From borders, we've then given different orders. But I mean, who's wrong and who's right? For some it's day, for some it's night. For some it's capitalism, for others it's a hard plight. I think we've lost sight of ourselves. On earth it is now hell. I mean, what kind of stories to our grandkids are we going to tell? The borders of my bank account dictate what I can do and what I cannot. The borders in my house tell you what kind of a person I am in a snapshot, whether I'm a professional or a crackpot. Because apparently you've only got one shot. Keep your hedges trimmed and your flowers watered. Look after your lambs or else they get slaughtered. Yeah, that's what my grandma used to say. Borders, she said, split us up into colour, caste and creed to focus on a select few's greed. She said people don't really tend to plant seeds these days, they tend to work for the corporations, not for we. Outside the borders of the rainforest, we lose species, diversity, medicine, wisdom. Future generations won't know, they won't even miss them. They just have to deal with what's left after, not natural disasters, but man-made disasters. Borders to me are working towards New World Order. Governments making decisions for us of their own accord. Money is now sharper than a sword, and that is the God that we all seem to applaud. However, since the age of 4, I have felt from my core that I am a soul here to explore, to open every door that I find and more. But I guess we all felt that in this privileged position that we're standing in. No war to escape, no water to collect, no soldiers commanding us. I think some of us are completely oblivious, so we just forget about the others. We can cross any border and basic necessities we can afford, although we still have to do as we're told and our information and data is sold. It's better than trying to cross a border every day to then be sent back to your dismay. Or for a better life to pray, but then the priest takes you away to have his wicked way. Oh wait, that still happens here. I'm so grateful that my parents left the borders of Punjab and Africa and came here. In doing so, I'm now allowed to marry who I want. I mean, isn't that news so jubilant? It means that I won't be honor killed. I mean, living in the UK is such a thrill. But is it? Well, no, because the borders of my mother's land, they haven't quite left her. She couldn't focus on career, was told to get married, have a family, or disappear. Those rules, they don't apply to me because I was born here. Lucky, yes, but there are still conditions of worth that have been placed upon me by the people who put me here on this earth. Home isn't now really home. Now that I'm grown, I've kind of created my own zone and my own borders which span all over the world. My hair doesn't have to be straight, it can be curled, and I'm going to use the law of attraction to watch my dreams unfurl. I think most of us are concerned with what we can do under the covers of our borders. And that's interested now. So please tell me how, if I go over there, I have my funds cut like an umbilical cord. I can't go over there because that's the land of the Lord. If I go over there without permission, it's a sin. I'm hurting on the inside, but on the outside I wear a grin. We've created borders in everything. We've created borders where we don't even really tell people what's going on. I mean, I just want to sing songs and feel like I belong, but where do I belong? And then I remind myself to stay strong, because Mother Nature is a place where we all belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you. Actually, Jazz just skipped us right on to Boardlines, which was our next one. That's where we're going. So we've finished with the Manifesto in Verse Voice Box Cafe. Can you give all the poets a round of applause? Come on. Yeah. And can I say there was a number of, you know, the notes are here somewhere, and let me see how many. It's over 20 odd young women came into the workshops here. Really nice space upstairs in the reading room to be part of the Manifesto in Verse and the Voice Box Cafe. So I think that's amazing, coming into the library space and participating in writing workshops. Don't you think that's amazing? I do. No, guess not. Okay, moving along. No. Right, moving along very smoothly as we do. One more round of applause for the band. something great about this band here. It's usually a three-piece. I don't know where the drummer's gone, but anyway, this is good. This is good though, right? Yeah, just to give some... Sorry?
It costs less than 3 people.
It costs less. But they're amazing, and there's no rehearsal. They just kind of feel the poem and then they just play with it. So I think that's amazing, don't you? We have amazing artists in the city of Leeds, so we need to acknowledge that as well. Let's move on to Boardlines. Are you ready? Yeah. So part of Boardlines is, as I mentioned earlier on, is looking at what that means. And so we had a number of young people come through the project. Can I just say, this women's writing workshop has been amazing. I've been part of leading it with Studio 12, and we thought about opening it up to other people. We're like, nah. There's something real special about these women that come through, and they're in this safe space to be able to express themselves. Having said that, you know, you can come if you're male as well, you know. We wouldn't turn you away at all. It's open to anybody, but there's something quite special about that female voice, the power. So we're going to go on to Boardlines. And all of this, as I want to remind you, is all part of the Leeds Literature Festival. So is anybody in the house from Leeds Literature Festival? 1, 2, okay. We've got 3, 4, okay. Give them a round of applause, put it together. Yeah, so I said, in this really nice space. How many of you have been in this space before? Handful of people. It's a nice space, isn't it? Yeah, so we want to encourage them to use it more performances, right? Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so you've seen her before, and we're going to welcome her back to the stage. She goes by the name of Natalie, and in this section we're going to be talking about Boardlines. Put your hands together for Natalie, please.
So this poem is called I Have Forgotten How to Ask Your Name, and this was my interpretation of what a borderline can be. So, go ahead. The world will try to convince us that you and I are worlds apart. Truthfully, there are as many worlds between us as there are streets, and I have passed you on these streets for countless days. Any spare change, you ask softly. Silence hits the sound, like sleek heels upon black ice. Tongue-tied, unsuspecting, hands hide. Compassion nestled tightly in a cavern, my heart encased in city steel. Every passing pair of shoes, every shifted glance, every head bowed, reminding you that you do not exist. You do not exist. Passing strangers will ask, where does the fault lie? They will skip about your fault lines, filling them with imagined reasons why you are to blame. Sometimes I wonder if the deepest lines between us are the ones etched into your face, remnants of unchosen history which have come to define you. The world drifts, sleeps a little tighter, safe in the knowledge that countless pennies have not been wasted upon the undeserving. God forbid we sleep a little rougher, worrying over some other being's meaningless existence. Today I will let hard lines tenderize. Remember how to look you in the eye. Remember how to ask your name. May we awaken to the humanity which flickers within us. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. One more round of applause for Natalie. Okay, so I guess I should, Chloe took some time to put some information here, so I should read a little bit of it out. So, at least I should make an effort, shouldn't I? You know, people put stuff together, then you just don't read it. It's like, wait a minute. So I'm going to read some of it out, because I think it's also important that you understand what the Borderline project is. So part of the Boardline project is about the continued work that we've been doing with the women to participate in this. So, my mother would say, your ears is too hard. That means you're not listening. She just went and did her Boardlines, but I'm going to call you back up, Jazz, right? Is that okay? Yeah, and I know that you've got your Voice Box Cafe poem, because we want to give her a chance to read that, don't we? Yeah. They're used to me. Don't worry, if I'm telling them off, they love me. They like when I tell them off. And I'm not really telling them off, I'm loving them. You know, like your mother does when they tell you off, but they really love you because they feed you. It's that kind of thing. Welcome, Jazz, to the stage. You're welcome back. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Sorry, Khadija, I heard politics, so I just went off on my political poem. Sorry, guys. So obviously we're celebrating women's right to vote, but sometimes I think that we still have a long way to go with certain things. So my poem is expressing those thoughts and feelings. It's called Because I Am a Woman. Because I am a woman, it means that my arse is ripe to be plucked by faceless passers-by. Because I am a woman, I must be seeking male attention, be flirting with them, or at least have to let them try. Because I am a woman, if someone calls me beautiful, it's weird to ask why. Because I am a woman, I'm asked if I'm in a relationship every single day, and each time I let out a big sigh. Am I mad for telling the truth? That I'm finding and working on myself? Well, I must be, because I'm not trying to be a trophy on somebody else's shelf. I'm focusing on my health, wealth, and inner wealth. I'm focusing in on what the world needs and planting seeds, and I hope that others take heed. Because I am a woman, I must look perfect on Instagram. To be honest, I don't really give a damn. Because I am a woman, I must watch my weight to keep a man. Because I am a woman, I must have an ass or tits, and if you don't have either, then at least you have your lips and they can be of service. I would much rather that you measured me by my grades or how I stop myself from going insane, my eagerness to learn the favors that I return, the way that I have self-respect and self-reflect. Rather than asking me if I take speed, can we talk about the books that we read? Thank you.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, well. I like food, me, so if I've got to be slim, they stand no chance, love. At all. I like your poem, by the way. Give her a round of applause. Yes, that's Jazz. So that is her Voice Box Cafe poem. We just kind of did a flip reverse, but we're going back to Boardlines. Are you with me? Yeah, are you okay? If you're feeling good, say yep, yep. Yep, yep. Good, I know that you're with me, fantastic. So this is part of Leeds Literature Festival, and we're celebrating Manifesto in Verse, Voice Box Cafe, and Boardlines. So next up for Boardlines is Monique. Is Monique in the house? Come on, put your hands together for the lovely Monique.
Hi. So, hello. So, Forever the Optimist, this is what I ended up writing. All right. I look to my left, where I'm sitting, or where I'm standing, and I see someone who resembles me, but doesn't. The warm sound and the swaying rhythm of artist voices that rings in my ear until I can recall the sounds of native Caribbean islands. Always encountering people who show signs of the places that have a different way of life, values and morals. I don't remember a time when seeing people who came from elsewhere in the world wasn't unusual and told in physical form or physicality of what makes people people. In the humans next to me, in the rooms, in this room, who I sat next to always, no matter where I was going, in the friends I've made, in the fictional and the real people I've watched. But they say boundaries and borderlines exist. As I've grown wider to the world, as the world has become more open to me, are those borders too? What makes the usual and small is very different. The world isn't shaped in the cities and in the places in which I've stood, the ones that have melting pots like no other. Toronto, London, New York City, Leeds, Chicago, full and bursting, full and seamlessly together of people from everywhere and anywhere you are. And you're open to cultures that differ from you, food that is tinged with flavor you need to trek to, dress which may spark unconscious judgment, language that passes between the lips you hear and catch the familiarity of vocabulary you use yourself, that always shows humanity as it is, a tapestry. Thanks.
One more round of applause for Monique. Yeah. She migrated to Leeds, didn't you? There's something about Leeds, you know. People seem to migrate to Leeds. If you was born in Leeds, put your hands up, please. Okay, just hands, foot. You see? And the rest of you are migrants to the city. If you've migrated to the city, put your hands up. Oh, okay. You're all migrants to the city. Fantastic. That just gives you proof that it is a wonderful city to be part of, isn't it? Some of you went to university and just stayed, didn't you? It's like, oh, what the hell? Might as well stay. I'm not going back to London. Bit too smoky there. Some of you came as dancers, part of Phoenix Dance Company, and stayed. Didn't you, Pauline, lovey? Yes. Some of you, well, I don't know what brought you. Maybe love brought you here. Did love bring some of you here? Ooh, 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 yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What brought you here, Mr. Clooney, then? University, you see, education. University of Leeds, you see. One of the best universities, it was voted. Leeds My dad said you're not to go to Polytechnic, you're to go to university. The Polytechnic's not real, he used to say. And I could never understand. Have you noticed how the Leeds accents just come on? Yeah. Have you noticed? That's the beauty of Leeds. We can dip and fall into the lingo we can, as much as we like. So, Polytechnic, Mr. Clooney, we won't hold it against you. Who else came here for university? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, and just at 6, 7, yeah. Leeds University, any graduates of Leeds University? Put your hands up way high, yeah. Leeds University, right, very good indeed. Leeds Met, well, it wasn't called Leeds Met, I don't know, it keeps on changing its name. Leeds Met, Leeds Beckett, Leeds Polytechnic, yeah? Yeah, oh, very nice indeed. Never mind. It's all right. Isn't it? Leeds University, I'll have you know. 2 times, I'll have you know. Did I just tell you what my father said? Right. Right then. Let's keep it moving. Don't start, Miss Mayers. Okay, so who did we have? Monique. Next on the stage is Mina. Is Mina in the house? Yes, she is. Put your hands together for Mina. Come on.
Hi. Yeah, this one's more of a story than a poem, but it is a poem as well. It's about Brexit, because we love it. And it's also kind of, yeah, I got really angry about Brexit, and then thought I would take the story of Jack and the Beanstalk and turn it into a rant about politics. So it goes. Jack was outside his house. It's a small place kind of near town. Round the corner, up and down and around, the road beckons, calling him glorious. A king in his own right, he's full of a Stella Cam fight tonight. See, this man Jack used to be the same as you and I. He studied music at school. Kinda liked it even though it wasn't cool, and all the boys told him he was a fool. Should be playing football and calling girls sexy in the dinner hall. And soon he grew up, he got a job in advertising. Not surprising he spent his years wanting more. Never enough to fill the hole that he burnt into his soul. It changed for him. All of a sudden, he was walking past his house down the road to the pub when he sees an old man smoking cigarette stubs. He's nothing special, just looks wrinkled, old, a bit lame. But when Jack asks for a lighter, he's got something to say. You've got a mind on the edge, my friend. Until the end, you might not see the borderlines, the invisible divides that have dictated your life. Don't be waiting around, start tearing systems down. The old man tells him that this mind between your temples is your church, make it your God. Worship it well and it will inspire. You don't need more, you're caught in the game they play. Telling you you're on the edge, well you sure are. But better that than a fool that plays by a child's rules. Why do you let them still? Because they gave you half price off in your local co-op and a discount card for Topshop, and it's like Jack has had a shock. It sticks in his head roundabout, but he's not quite ready yet. So he says, fuck the others, the planet and all that stuff. Me and my life, I've got it rough. And the old man smiles and says, no doubt it's tough. You need a rest after a hard day's work, and that doesn't include caring for others other than you and your own, made of your blood and bone, born of your toil and sweat. Man, you've got it rough. But is that enough, or is it an excuse? Now Jack's mind can't cope or question him, so he tries to suppress it, depress it. Only when it's time for bed does he squirm in sweaty sheets, fevered man crying out, maybe I'm not a part of something good. Maybe my mind could topple a little over the edge of this wall, start this mental fall to break the fourth wall and all its rules. And he goes back to the pub the very next day and sees an old man leaning on an iron gate, who grins to see him and shouts, I knew you wouldn't be the same when you saw the players of this Monopoly game. Let yourself fall down, I'll catch you, pick you up. You know you're meant for rising up. Now Jack's eyes are open. At last he sees how he's being played, and it's got a cost, a manifesto on, and a logo sign that there is something very wrong. Jack marches on home down the up and down road, sinks a can, now a new made man. He gets on a coach to Parliament Square and dares to ask what they're doing in there. They won't see him though. No interest in the likes of you and I, so he climbs up high, up the government walls, says you don't speak for me, and I'm tired of you. Government lies and corporate eyes watching me and my own every day I've known. And with one great throw, he launches Theresa May into the Thames below. Stronger than he'd ever known, he scoops them up, gives them a boat, puts them in the channel, gives them a boat to let them float on rising sea levels. Karma is fair. Jack takes care of that. Soon the news and police come flocking in. They've heard of these bizarre events and scream at what he's done. But Jack just shrugs, says it's not my fault. I'd been told it's fine, illegal deportation in this Britain's not a crime. And they look sheepish, a little bit ashamed, but demand that Jack is locked away. They hadn't expected, though, the news to spread. And the people come running, wide-eyed and weeping, screaming blessings out, they kiss the floor. Tired and bored of the politics and senseless bickering, the people have realized what they were missing. That their mind between their temples is their church, is their God, is theirs to use and worship well, and if they do that, they can make a heaven out of this hell. They free Jack. Police run away, BBC reports on the start of a new age. And amongst all this madness, Jack looks around. He thinks he can glimpse an old man smoking cigarettes in the crowd. But when he runs on over, there's no one there, only celebrating people, punching the air, and if there was any man at all, he'd be long gone now. Disappearing into the London night, what a sight to see the world turned upside down. But Jack's remembered how he talked, and the wisdom he shared, and realized at last what the old man meant. Shut the board and scatter the pawns, and scream that the odds are stacked. It's a child's game, Jack once was told, and the spoiled children only win when tired adults give in.
Thank you, Mina. Yeah. One more round of applause. Keep it going. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Are you enjoying yourself so far? Yeah, make sure when you leave here that, I don't know if you do Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, make sure you say something about the Leeds Literature Festival, Studio 12, Manifesto in Verse, and Khadija Ibrahim. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But make sure, if you can, just show some love to the poets, because that's what it's about. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. That was Mina. One more round of applause for Mina. Keep it going, keep it going. Is Nafisa in the house? Oh, she's here. Come on, keep your hands going, keep clapping for Nafisa, the lovely Nafisa. There you go.
Hi guys. My piece is called Journey Through the Borders, so I want to take you through it. A piece of metal that is unable to bend or fold, a beautiful mess which appears as a straight line for the sky and the birds to behold, a barrier between a mother and her child, a separation story suddenly becomes unknown, an unfair agreement which squeezes and squeezes until it envelopes, and yet it does not stop there. It does not stop there. The border, they say, the ordinary phrase flows off the tongues, an unsolved equation unable to look within. Searching for air, inhale. Give it a name, give it recognition, a closed door given existence. Where is the human love and sacrifice fighting these borders? Raising one finger, sacrificing four, trying to say one letter, but in fact, being oppressed with significantly more. Mothers struggle to push letters to the gaps of their homes and in return find themselves out of their doors. This is their way of making you feel less alone. Past those borders, or you thought that was it. Hold on, there's more. Persevere, my dear, this is not the end. Those metal barriers were man-made. You're made by something they shall never comprehend. These are the tools of the civilized world. Their show will not last long. Begin your magic, and soon they'll be in your playground. Let the borders be that lesson you could not speak within, that lesson you chose to be within. Soon you'll be in those lessons, those same tools you use to make your rules on how to begin. Show them your color and beat them at their own game. Ask me about borders, I will not cease to put you to shame. Thank you.
Thank you, Nafisa. Come on now. Yeah. Can I tell you, Nafisa was literally crapping a show off. She was like, I don't think I can do this, teacher. That was last week. And something happened, I don't know, maybe she did some meditation. I don't know what you did. Did you meet with her? You see, that's how I says, what, Adelina. I got you right this time. I says, why don't you talk to Adelina? She's your age. Maybe she can give you some advice, you know, about getting on the stage and just make some friends in this space. And that's what she did. Is that right? Is that what happened? See? Fire! Come on. Come on now. Nafisa. Oh yeah. That's right, the passion, the fire came out for Nafisa. Thank you, Adelina, for that. See, I'm just not a pretty face, you can give good advice as well, you see. Yes, thank you, Adelina, for that. That's amazing, thank you, Nafisa. Because she was terrified. It's not easy, you know. I mean, I know, I make it look so easy up here. You didn't see me before I got on the stage. I was like, oh God, I've got to get here at 5 o'clock. Oh my God. And the taxi was taking ages and I was sweating and all of those things. And I was wondering, I was like, oh God, am I going to get here at time? And poor Chloe's probably having kittens wondering where Khadija is. So, and then you just kind of transform, don't you? Go, right then, fix yourself and just get on the stage. So, what are you laughing at, Malik? Oh my goodness me. So, oh gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roche. No, maybe not. Oh, you mean? One more time. Yes, Roche, you have the fire according to the audience. One more round of applause. That's Roche with her manifesto in verse poem. Okay, I think we're going back to Boardlines. I don't know with this group, you know. Do you know what I mean? You say one thing and they do another thing. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see anyway. You saw her on the stage already. We want to bring her back. She goes by the name of Ines. Is Ines in the house? Come on, put your hands together. I think she's doing Boardlines. I didn't hear that. I'm just assuming she's doing Boardlines.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah? You good?
Yeah, I'm just spreading them so then I don't have to move. Okay. So, the first poem I did was mainly about history, so manifesto history, all that. This one's more present. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight into it. We are diverse genetic hybrid fruits, assorted with time. Like limes, wrinkles with lines, tribal scars tatted on faces, body modification, citrus sweet fragrance carried by wonderful worldly wonders. We are made in shades of skin, like sandalwood cuttings, undertone stain, emerald, ruby. We are holy like angels exiled from heaven only to return. Living in cities, limits existing only on paper. We travel fearlessly, tanks fueled the blood of kin, separated by sin, past borders into countries we call home, a collective of space. We grow to half love, the other half displaced. Borders command the wind to stop. The wind has a foreign tongue, it keeps going. Black lines on a map in real life do not exist. It is passport controlled, migration from a land that is war zoned. Birds don't know these borders. They fly high across these borders, at risk, at reach for life. When will you understand team? When will history show us pedigree? When will these borders be blurred, fraud files in folders, not just feelings that hurt? When the price is triple, pay declines, NHS is privatized, nurses are overworked, paid no overtime. What will become of this space? Home will dry like fruit in the sun, and no more foreign fruits will come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines. Yeah. One more round of applause. Keep it going. You called it. That's right, you can call it if you feel it. You don't have to wait for everybody else. You might think, oh, she's got fire and I want to call it. Don't be shy. Think she's got fire? Call it. Fire, yeah. Ooh. Said, fire. Oh, you're such a wonderful audience. Let's keep it going. Is Chana in the house? Yes, she is. Put your hands together for Chana. Come on.
Hi, so I done this last minute. I just wanted to thank Khadija and Chloe who invited me last minute. My Borders is about inter-ethnic issues in the black community. Okay. The team light skin versus dark skin debate honestly gets on my nerves. Why is it necessary that one should equate their value and their worth based on their complexion? We are not divided, we're not to be divided, but to be tied with the bondage of love. The enemy of progress in the communities ourselves? How are we supposed to change the world when we are constantly putting our dark-skinned people on the shelf? We mock our people, but we mock ourselves. We shall not stand divided but united. Colorism is real, just like racism, except it is hidden in the corners of our minds, perceptions, and ideals. We still have a long time to heal. We need to stop placing our standards for us to uphold. Queens, kings, fighters, fathers, mothers, daughters, and sons, we are royalty and are elegant beyond imagination. So show loyalty and see no difference of the shades of melanin of the skin. We are one kin. So why project oppression on your people when we are in the same race? We are racing the same race as you in this world. Racing to be seen, heard, acknowledged, validated, and approved. Your existence is enough. Don't be screaming that natural girls are pretty, but then demonize 4C hair, broad noses, and rich melanin. You either appreciate all black people or you don't. There is no in between. We are sewn together at the seams. To idolize a light skin with 3A hair, a straightened nose, is Eurocentric and whitewashed. Why obtain a whitewashed perception where we were once washed away at sea? We will refuse to be stripped of our identity. We are too heavenly for this land to stand in opposition with one another. So whether you are caramel or chocolate, that is still your brother. Colorism is real, just like racism, except it is hidden in the corners of our minds and perceptions and ideals. We still have a long time to heal. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Nelson Mandela did not strive for unification for us to create further segregation. We should not become in competition with each other, but uplift and support our goals. You are not too black to be black. You are not too light to be black. Black is black. Our source and drip is on levels that no other race could dare to touch. We are different. So make peace amongst your light-skinned and dark-skinned brethren. We are in the same boat. Just like Africans and Caribbeans need each other to stay afloat. The diversity of our melanin and our race is indescribable. So wear your blackness 24/7 unashamed. Silently sitting on the fences of society because we do not belong. Love our features but not on us. But we must hush and lay low while black culture becomes marketized. I close my eyes and hope and pray that people will see us more than just our exterior. We are souls, minds, and children of God. Have you heard that Jesus said, "Come as you are"? So every shade of melanin, a beautiful black child. I tell you now, you are a star. So let's draw a line on favorite skin tones. Borders are created and colorism is one of the zones. Thank you.
Hit, hit, hit. Y'all make me laugh. I like that fire. Hit, hit, hit. Yep. Hit, hit, hit. That's right, she got the fire, the passion, the revolutionary fire of Chana. Chana. See, I'm just giving you a whole new name. Chana. It's like a song, isn't it? Shana. Say it again. Shana. Shaba. I've gone somewhere else now, so I better stop. I'm in library. And there's children present. Let's keep it moving. One more round of applause. Okay, so our final poet on the stage with the Boardlines poem is, you've seen her already, we're going to bring her back to the stage, and I'll probably say her name wrong. Adeline? Adelina? Can you say her name together, please? Thank you. Say it again. Adelina.
Thank you, Khadija. Hi. You're waving so. This is called Scars, and it was based on my experience of my 4 days in Romania. feeling confused and uncomfortable under my skin. How cold and easy you cut me with your eyes, as smooth, as sharp, and deadly as eyes. All I see is flashing light, turning to a blind eye, a double-edged blade of a dagger, piercing through me. Eyes that speak it, that no one hears it but me. Ever since stepping into your unknown land, a state of distrust or in disgust began, that leads a way of not being me. Nameless. To you, I am anonymous, like a shadow cast in the night, a shadow of unforeseen sight. There is no reason for me to panic. I told myself that I would be okay, as I'm unique in my own way. There is only one of me, like our fingerprints. They're not the same. Do you think they're the same? They're not the same, right? The shape of my eyes, my light brown honey skin, black afro hair, eyes as smooth, yet sharp, yet deadly and warm. My heart of ambience that shines bright. We are humans and bleed the same. Thank you.
Adelina. Thank you. Round of applause for Adelina. Listen, I can read, and it really does read Adeline. You know, you got them parents, right, that do them funny spellings. Have you ever come across that? Come on. Have you ever come across that? Tell the truth. And they say, it reads something else, and they go, no, it doesn't say that, it says this. It's like, oh, really? My name's Nevaeh, it's heaven spelled backwards. Have you heard that one? It's that kind of thing. It looks, Adelina. Oh, you see? Because of the Dutch spell, you see? Because of the Dutch spelling. So I'll come out now, hasn't it? One more round of applause. And one more round of applause for all the poets that have come up on the stage. Rahima A.K. Mims, Adelina, Natalie, Kim, Enas, Jazz, Roche, Nafisa, Mina, and Chana. One more round of applause for Leeds Literature Festival, for gathering us here. The Leeds Central Library. Studio 12. Is that what you do? What's that? Yeah, Studio 12. That's called a BOGO movement, by the way. Leeds Young Authors. Sunday Practice. The Purple Lychee Band. Boomsatsuma. And anybody else that I might have listened. Thank you. Come on, say it. I want some fire. In harmony, that is, please. Come on. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Oh, you're just too kind. Oh, really? Thank you very much. Someone else has got fire in here. Goes by the name of Jamie. Got a lot of fire. He has. Someone else has got a whole heap of fire and passion. She's over there. Chloe. Yeah. And all the staff. Alison, she's over there. Come on. Yeah. And all the staff at the Central Library. We want to say thank you very much. So we have we've come to an end, but we're not finished. No. We got the band. Yeah? So, I'm supposed to say these closing remarks. I'm not quite sure what that is. apart from thank you very much. And this event has been supported by Leeds Literature Festival. Yeah? What's that? What's that? Oh yeah, evaluation forms. Don't you run away from them, because I don't like bloody evaluation forms. With a whole heap of questions in my life. What's your nan's name? Where's your nan born? Do you know what I mean? It's all of that, the evaluation forms, but you've got to do them. It's all about, I guess, funding and who's in space. I don't know, right? But I don't know where they're going to find them from. Where they're finding them from? Oh, they're on the sixth. That's. So you can't say you didn't get one because you sat on it, and you probably got a pen as well. Have you got a pen? Oh, library, you're dead good you are. So evaluation forms, you're going to be entertained by the Purple Lychee Band. So come on, band, play some music, yeah? And I want you to enjoy yourself, yeah? There's lots more events happening at the Leeds Literature Festival. There is some leaflets over there. You can read what's going on. I will be heading up the road to the business school, Leeds University, to repeat myself in hosting for 34 years of People Tree Press Literature Festival. It's not part of the Literature Festival, but it's been a pleasure being here, yeah? Please do enjoy yourself. And if you feel like you want to have a little dance, you can, you know. I don't know if the band's that good with special requests, but they can do something. Special requests, I don't know. Alison, anything else? Come on, no, you have to go on.
You have to go down to -1 and out the door, -1, because the library's now shut.
That's at 7 o'clock. You don't have to, she's not booting you out now. Yeah, so you can stay and enjoy. Come on, band, give us some music, please. Yeah? She said she's got the boring job. I can give her this job. I might just stand next to her and coach her. You know, so next time she can come up here. All right, have you enjoyed yourselves? One more round of applause for all the poets that have come on the stage. Come on, show some love. This has been part of Leeds Literature Festival. We are so happy and grateful. And I'm just going to repeat their names. Rahima, one more round of applause for Rahima. Adelina, Natalie, Kim, Inas, Jazz, Roche, Monique, Mina, Nafisa, and Chana. Thank you very much. I've been your host, DJ Ibrahim, and I'm off.